Greetings, fellow humans. 17 February. Oh, he's got such a cute butt. East African dude. 17 February 2023. 19 degrees out there. What time do we have? Well, it's noticeable that the days are getting longer, and internally that feels good, since I am one of those individuals who's they used to call it seasonally affected, and what it is, it's lack of vitamin D because we're not getting as much sunlight, and just as not as much daylight. And my personal makeup, my personal chemistry is I do better in a warmer climate. And hindsight is 20/20. Had I known in 2005 what I know now, I never would have given up my life in an attempt to be a stand-up, loyal family member, and returned to Chicago from California. I won't say that I have any, I won't say that it's a regret, because I do not believe in regrets. I learned so much along the way, and my choice, and what I'm sharing with all of you in this, in a matter such as this, rather than have regrets, take the lessons and what you learned from the experience, especially if it was not the desired outcome. And Lord knows I didn't achieve the desired outcome, at least the way that I was conceding it in my brain. The outcome still wasn't completely desirable, but the most important facet of what I needed to do at that time, it did happen. Unfortunately, there were still many losses that were taken by many individuals involved, primarily financial, and which is just so unfortunate because people's emotional nature blocking them from learning how things such as finances and money work. There's nothing to be afraid of. It's just it's like playing Monopoly. There's rules to the game, and when you learn how to play the game Monopoly and you practice with it, it's all fake money anyway, and we're not taking any of it with us. At best, you can lead it to an heir. And that was part of the thing here. It should have been something that my father intended for us to have as a inheritance, but because of the emotional problems and the narcissistic personality disorder and the mental blocks on behalf of the female parental unit, that totally vaporized very quickly. That money was spent on shopping trips to Burlington Coat Factory and shit like that. And so, but at any rate, but I didn't understand what I was dealing with as far as that personality, and the reason why I don't have any regrets about giving up my life the way I did is I never really would have learned what I was dealing with as far as the abusive personality, and I wouldn't be able to speak on that, and I would not be able to encourage other people who find themselves in a similar situation in the way that I'm able to encourage now. No one ever said to me, because everybody's afraid to, and finally I'm going to get this out. It's in a video that's locked away. There's absolutely no reason why you would tolerate an abusive family member. Well, even if it's just verbal abuse. You don't have to. And someone should have told me that a long time ago. Instead, they always said, stick close to her, stick close to her, stick close to her. And what it did was it ruined my life. It robbed me of energy. It damaged my physical body. This is not blame. This is telling a story that is truthful and facts. No one has the right to strike you, least of all someone who's supposed to love you, nurture you. I was reared like a piece of cattle. I was dragged around like a little rag doll when I was 2, 3, 4 years old and banged around by the arm. Never spoken to kindly and with love. With the exception of when other people were around, because then we had to keep up appearances. That's what we did, you know. Another terminology that's going to go into another video that's getting recorded today is this whole notion of the whole fake nice stuff. I have no tolerance for it. And when I see it, I call it out. Not going to stand there and get into a fight with anybody, but at least when I walk away, they heard somebody say, your fake nice bullshit is bullshit. And that'll stay on the brain, whether I'm not attached to having people change. But as much as many individuals don't want to hear that part of this human technology is that we are to be reflectors on one another, I believe that's built into this human technology. You know, we made mirrors. You can look at yourself, but you can avoid looking at a mirror. You can't avoid looking in the eyes of another person. And all this avoidance of reflection and, oh, you're so bad because you said that. You can't say that. No. I look at it like this. If I don't tell you that you got boogers on your nose, it probably means I just don't give a fuck about you. I don't give a fucking rat's ass. And you've done something to me to make me feel that way. But otherwise, it is in my basic nature to show care, compassion, and concern. And say, hey, did you know you got a booger on your nose? Make a little fun of it, make light. And hey, by the way, if you ever see me with a booger on my nose, would you let me know, please? I won't attack you. Actually, how that would make me feel is that you cared about me, that you loved me. So it's all twisted. At least my lifetime, 50 years plus on this planet, it is just so convoluted. Dolores Cannon said it. Yeah. That word is not used enough. It's just convoluted. And, well, the only way to unconvolute it is to talk about it and to get it out there. And I said in a previous video this week, if you're feeling triggered, maybe you just need to go to your corner and you need to sit down and ask yourself, what here is triggering me? Why do I feel triggered? Is this something that I need to examine about myself because it's ugly? Because I don't defend other people behind their back when other people are talking about them. And it makes me feel like a piece of crap, trash human being. Because I may know that that person is actually a good, decent human being, but I hear these other people trashing them and gossiping about them, and I don't say, hey, you don't get to do that. That person is not here to defend themselves. And whether or not I know that's true, what you're saying or not, if you're going to talk about that person that way behind their back, then you're going to see this. The behavior has just become so normalized, and it's disgusting. It is disgusting. And everybody out there who's participating in it, you should be ashamed of yourself. Just stop it. Just stop the gossiping. Stop talking about other people. If you don't want anybody to say something about you behind your back, then don't say anything about anybody else behind their back. And if you've got nothing good to say about somebody else, then, you know, maybe you should talk to them. Talk to them. But you probably don't even care enough to say, hey, do you know that you go around being an asshole all the time? And I'm just trying to figure out, who hurt you? Or do you just like being that way? Because if you like being that way, go right the fuck ahead. But maybe if somebody hurt you and you go around being an asshole and a douchebag all the time, maybe you just need somebody like me to tell you, I'm sorry no one has told you that they love you today, but if you'll allow me, I'll be the first. So has anybody told you guys today that they love you? If not, then Avion will be the first. I love you. No one has told me they love me today yet. So let's see what happens. It was a tough night. I was up and down all night long. I'm pulling it together. There's going to be another video that's really not intended for my intended crowd, but it's part of this transparency, and it's intended for several specific people who I have to deal with right now, even though I wish I just didn't have to deal with them. I don't believe in fighting. Anything we fight against, we're feeding power. So this is not a fight, but it is a battle, and it's a battle of right and wrong, good and evil. And there is a proper, appropriate time where we will all find ourselves in a situation where you do have to defend yourself. If you do not, you lose, you take losses, and those other individuals involved, they never have to offer respect to you. And it's not the demanding respect, it's commanding respect. And so I find myself in this difficult situation where alone, without the support of even my closest confidant right now, she just doesn't want to get it. So it's just another, here we go again with this, oh, just let it go. Just let it go. You know, let's get back to talking about my stuff and the tea parties and that sort of stuff. No. I have morals and values and principles, and I'm not giving that up. I have a soul, and I care about mine. I have a conscience, and I live by it. And if everyone else in the world wants to throw all that out the window and jump off the bridge and do like everybody else, then you all go ahead and do that. But I'm not. That's the way I feel inside. So, and what I find is that I'm increasingly attacked for wanting to be a decent human being. Wow. For wanting to defend other people, for wanting to defend children when I see that there's possibly verbal abuse going on by a parent who was abused themselves and never really loved. And just saying, hey, is everything okay there? And the reason for asking the question and asserting myself as a decent human being is because the child, as I went through my child abuse, doesn't know how to defend itself. It doesn't even, it's dependent on this adult. And so, you know, you live in terror that you can't say anything to anybody else, because if the abuser finds out that you've said something, then you're abused and terrorized all over again, and probably worse. So I'm just, because I am an empath, I am sensitive to that and vigilant. So we do have some clearing skies, even though it's cold. So at any rate, angels go before us, angels come behind, angels to our left, angels to our right, angels above and angels below. We're safe and protected everywhere we go. We pay attention. We're vigilant. We defend ourselves, and we defend the honor of others in the absence of their presence. It makes us feel good about ourselves when we do that, even if the others involved, in the immediate moment would send negative energy towards us for standing up and wanting to be a decent human being, or maybe even deciding, as we all know, peer pressure doesn't end in high school. It carries on into the adult world, and it gets even worse out there in the toxic slave force, wage slavery, debt slavery. The passive-aggressive bullying that I experienced while I was an overachiever and wanting to please, and so again, I don't have any regrets, but I call it out and see it for what it is, and underpaid, overworked and undersexed. That's been my life. So please be kind to pedestrians. It's cold outside. Please put the devices down when you're in the vehicles. Put both hands on the wheels. I see it all the time. I got that story that I can tell from 2008, the first time the 16-year-old girl driving straight at me in the family minivan, texting on the phone, loses control of the vehicle, and plows right into the lamppost, the 30-foot high lamppost, or however tall those things are, 25 feet up or whatever. And the thing comes careening down. I'm watching my life fall, my life flash before my eyes. It falls on the fence 5 feet in front of me, bends in half, and the big ball on top lands on the roof of a black four-door Volkswagen Jetta sitting in the Walgreens parking lot over on Forest Preserve Drive near Harlem Avenue. And there were people walking towards me, and they're like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "I'm just in shock right now." And the girl gets out of the car. She got the phone in her hand and tears streaming down her face. And there's no other car on the road either, which was it just was so shocking. But, so just highlighting that, but, be kind to the pedestrians and the cyclists. You're in a 5,000-pound vehicle that's either heated or air-conditioned. You're seated and you're comfortable. Could be that person that you're terrorizing with your aggressive driving could be happening. The same thing could be happening to the love of your life, the most important person. And imagine if you lose control of your vehicle and you take out the love of somebody else's life. How are you going to feel? Sorry, folks, it's got to be said. I experience this all the time. All the time. And I'm waiting for it to get better. So, we'll get this video up, and then I got to get my notes out because I got to speak primarily in code here. But I don't want to have to repeat myself again for all these people and whoever whoever they work for. So it's going to be a public video, and I have a suspicion that there'll be a lot to learn from for everyone else who may find themselves in similar situations to what I find myself in at the moment. It's nothing horrible, but it's just really uncomfortable. But I am not going to sit back and take the easy route out because I don't want to feel the discomfort here. No, I want to get up in the morning and feel good that I did the right thing, that I stood up for myself. And I have taken a financial loss here. And I really do believe that I need to be compensated for that. Everyone else in this situation has gotten paid, except for me. And I did, and I labored. I have labored. So that's what this is going to be about. But to prove a point, I will walk away from this situation because to me it's not about the money. To me it's about the decency and showing empathy and compassion for your fellow human being when they're going through a difficult time, and being genuine and authentic about it, and pushing through your own negative Eeyore bullshit. Whatever. Namaste, folks. Avion-Marie signing off. 17 February. I have no idea what time it is. Love y'all. Bye.